Welcome to Your American Dream. I'm Anisha Jennings, and today we're exploring the intersection of health and business leadership with Dr. Rashmi Nair, whose journey proves that success is more than just the bottom line. Welcome, Rashmi. Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you, Anisha. Thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm really honored.
Thank you. So tell us about your story. How did you come to the US? What was your journey like? And how did you land where you are now?
Well, it all started with my master's research in medicinal chemistry when I was in Indian Institute of Medicine and Science in India. And my research took me to a place where I discovered two new elements from naturally occurring plant. And that's where the whole idea of further looking into medicine and seeing how we can help the patients actually started. That went on to my motivation to do a PhD. And when I came here, I not only did a PhD, I went to Louisiana from Mumbai. My first international travel, which was scary. I was very anxious, and but it all worked out. My international students director, he was very welcoming and made me feel. I was also the international students president there. I became the international students president. So for 2 years, I was back to back, the international students president and worked with the Indian Students Associations. Um, Overall, the journey was like I started with a master's again in organic chemistry. Then I decided I also need to have a background in business. So I did an MBA. And then from there, I was like, okay, now I have to pursue my goal, which is to do the research that I was planning on. So I took a PhD in healthcare and pharmacy administration with the University of Louisiana. So that's where it all started.
That's amazing. So you did say it was scary, and so what was your first experience when you landed here? What did you feel? Did you face cultural shock? What was that like?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a funny story now. So the first time, like the first night I came to US, I come from Mumbai. Mumbai is very much like New York. It's vibrant, always there's a lot of sound and everything. From there, when you come to Louisiana, Monroe, then you will find, or at least that's what my experience was, all of a sudden I felt, am I deaf? Because there was no sound, like really no sound. And the school had not started. So my international students director, when he picked me up from the airport, for that one night, he put me in a travel lodge. That was my first night in America. And for a person who has never traveled out of home, forget
Mhm.
about leaving, Mumbai. I left Mumbai and came like far away from everyone. So first night, completely alone, sleeping in a hotel was so scary. So that whole night I didn't sleep. So around 5:30, I started hearing a whooshing sound. I'm like, what's this whooshing sound? So I opened my hotel door and I looked out and I found that I was very close to a highway. And when the cars pass, there is a whooshing sound. It sounds like you are right near an ocean and a big wave crashes, something like that. So I was like, okay, cool. Then my he Dr. Rambo, he came and he picked me up, and then he put me in a dorm. Dorm had not started, so I was the only student in the whole dormitory. The dorm services had not started, so there was no food. So he said, "I'll take you shopping." So he took me shopping to Walmart. And in Louisiana, Walmart is a super Walmart center, so you get food and everything there. And I walk in and I see like big apple looking sting. It doesn't look like apple, but it is as big as an apple. I'm like, okay, what is this? It looks very interesting. And I'm like, I need to balance because we convert the cash from India and bring it here. So we need to balance out how much you spend. So every
Mhm.
converting, it's like, okay, this much rupees, this much dollars. That's what's going on in my head. And I look at this and I ask, oh my God, it's a tomato. You know the beefsteak tomato? Now I know it's a
Mm.
beef tomato, but for me, who came from India where we had tomatoes, which is very small, to seeing
Yeah.
something that big, I'm like, what is that? That was like a shock for me. So I survived my first 2 days in America on 2 tomatoes and 3 apples. That was my food for the 2 days. So the third day we
Wow.
had the international students orientation, the very first day that we were all like got together. I saw a couple of Indian students and a few Sri Lankan students. Oh my God, I did not realize how much I was like craving for it. I saw them and tears started welling.
Oh.
But that was my first week in US. So yes, it was a big shock. It was a very much cultural shock for me coming from there. But for more than that, what I realized is many people really didn't know at that time. In Louisiana, Monroe, we had a very small population and people didn't
Mhm.
have many Indian students. So when they saw, some of them would ask me funny questions. Now that I look at it, like, do you guys still travel on elephants? I'm like, no, no. Yeah, but it's getting to know each other. But I'll tell you, the people there are amazing. I have fond memories of them. They would wait in front of their houses as you pass by, and they will wait and say good morning, wave at you, and they genuinely would like to know how you are doing for the day. It was such
Mhm.
a nice, time in Louisiana.
Amazing. That's a nice, fun story. So, what inspired your transition from healthcare to business leadership?
Ah, that's a very loaded question. Uh, 24, 25, I think that many years in healthcare, worked all around from academics to the industry.
Hmm.
I used to teach at University of Toledo Medical Center and then here at St. John's University. And from there, I worked with New York Health and Hospital Corporation. So been around a lot of places. Um, had many frustrations. Many time, what it meant was that you're wanting to do something passionately about it for patients or improving something, making an impact in healthcare. And you're bound by the red tapes and you're not able to make the decision. You're stuck because it's not in your hands. And that leads to frustration. And one such project I worked on, I'm not going to take any names, but one such project I worked on, I was extremely passionate about it, built the whole team ground up. And our team worked on it for quite some time. Everyone was so involved in it. One night, that's it. Everything changed. They came and they said, no more funding. You're done. Wrap it up. So all the work we had put was all waste. More than that, what happened is all the people who I had hired and I had built very nice relationships with, now I was required to fire them. That made me land up in an emergency room. In the emergency room bed, lying there, I was like, do I really want to die like that? I'm not making a difference. I'm not happy with what I'm able to do. Maybe I need to choose a different path because I don't think this is worth what I'm trying to do. And I was like, I want to start my own business. Goal being starting a health and wellness center, which is still my goal. But in order to get somewhere, you need to take baby steps. So my first baby step is starting a business, learning all the in and outs of business, building a network, which is what I am doing right now, and doing it while having fun. So that's like very important for me. I don't want to do something which I feel like I'm like really not happy about. This one, every single day that I have been now it's almost a year, I'll tell you, every single day is different. Every single day I feel happy. At the end of the day, I feel like I did A, B, and C. Yes, D might not have been accomplished, but you know what? It's all good. I sleep so peacefully and I look forward to the next day. In the corporate world, I was starting to get to a place where I started dreading Mondays, and I don't like that feeling. I wanted to make a difference in the right way without harming myself and not be like really cringed and pushed to do things that I really don't feel good about. So the transition from healthcare to business is because of some events that happened, like I said.
Well, we're glad you're doing well and that you're enjoying. And it's always a pleasure to see you at the networking events.
Yeah. Same here, Anisha. You are such a joyful spirit to be around. I really enjoyed
Oh,
meeting you and Joe, both of you.
thank you. So, what do you think, like, how does your cultural background influence your approach to business?
Well, I think it matters how I am, right? So my cultural background is a part of me. So I feel like everything I do, however I am, is a mix of everything I have gone through. So um, because being in Mumbai, we come from a very competitive world. We want to make sure that we are able to make our presence felt, that you are standing out of the crowd. Otherwise, I'll tell you, when I applied for masters in research in India, in all of Mumbai there was 4 seats for the whole masters research, like admissions. There's only 4 seats. Number of students who applied was 600 or something more than that. So 600 students, 4 seats. There are 3 rounds that you have to go through: two written and 2 interviews. Sorry, you had to go through, and then out of that they weed, and finally you get a chance. And in that, I don't know if you remember, but in India we used to have quota system in admissions. So regular quota of that 4 seats come to 2 seats. So I was really competing for that 2 seats out there. So
Yeah,
that means you have to really strive. You have to make sure that you are known there and you are being selected. Tough
absolutely.
competition. But that
Mhm.
character where we are very persistent in terms of what we want to achieve, and you are going to push for it. At the same time,
Absolutely.
we come from a very society oriented. So we are all like, everybody is in everyone's life. Everyone wants to know everything. It's all fun. There's a lot of chaos, but that chaos has structure to it. And I feel like that we are a very vibrant society, loud. We are all very loud in everything, in our dresses, in our way we talk, in our food. We are vibrant every way, every angle you look at. So that's part of me. So when you meet me, and I think everyone can agree, I'm very outgoing that way. I'm loud, and I feel like sometimes I need to just tone back. I tell people I don't drink coffee, I don't drink any of these things. Without that, I'm already hyper. If I drink any more coffee or something, I don't know. Yes, so it has made me who I am, and I want
Mhm.
people to know me for what I am, like what my personality is and how I am. But it also taught me how to care for others. Because
Mhm.
I think in our Indian culture, it is part that you respect your elders and you take care of your younger ones. So
Yeah.
that's part and parcel of how we are. So I should say I'm fortunate enough that I have my parents here with me. So I feel it's a blessing to have them here, being able to see them and, get their advice. Sometimes you don't agree with it, but still.
It is a blessing to have them around.
Yes. So every person I meet, even during all of the networking events, I feel like there are people that I really make a good connection with, and I want them in my life. You being one
Mhm.
of them, Anisha. But
Oh,
I did meet Linda Soto. She's an
yes.
amazing person to be around. Christine Kernan, who is the VP of the Princeton Chamber, she's very nice. She gave me a lot of cool tips and advices. So there are a lot of people that I have got to meet, and what I could tell is that my culture and my perspective and my experiences has made me who I am. And that makes me more attractive to some people. And some people might feel like she's too much. I can't stand her right now.
So, how have how has being in America helped you stay true to your roots?
I miss India in many ways. One of the things that I miss India about is during festivals, because during festivals we have a lot of families and stuff who come over, and there's a lot of going back and forth. That's the part I mainly miss about India. Yes, we have family here, so now it's starting to get a little better. But uh, how do I put it? Because I'm here, I have a sense of freedom. What I mean by that, and I am not trying to tell it in any wrong way,
Mhm.
sometimes in your life, you just need a little space for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
That I get to. I can be who I am. And I think I have changed a lot because of what I've seen here, right? Many of my friends who I interacted with, they taught me how they think about certain things. And that has made me look at things from a different perspective than from just the Indian perspective. So I think I'm a blend of both Indian and American way of living. My son says I'm still not proper American, but I am a little bit a hybrid. I know the values that we have, and I enjoy the personal space that we get, and at the same time I enjoy the Indian bonding that we get too. That's one thing I really enjoy. Another thing I do like is here you have opportunity. there is nothing which stops you by saying, oh, you have been doing this. For example, my background is healthcare. There's nothing stopping me from trying something else. And it's never late in your life to do something. That is a spirit that I started getting when I did my master's here. My professor used to tease saying she is collecting degrees because I did 3 masters and a PhD. And they're like, are you doing anything further? So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's just that you can do anything you want. You can be who you want without
Absolutely.
really worrying about it. So, I feel like as a society, that's a very good trait to have. And many people I've met have been tolerant, have been accepting. And so I feel like I'm blessed that way.
Awesome. Yeah. So I recently read this book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and he mentions the same thing about India. Like, everybody's there in your face almost. So there's
Yes.
no room for depression.
No, there isn't.
But at the
What
same
depression?
time,
What are you talking about?
exactly. But like everybody's there for you all the time. So there's no space. But then here you have that space, so it's like it's interesting how he brings that too. Uh, so what's the most important most significant lesson from healthcare that applies to business leadership?
One very important lesson I learned in my life, and it took me some time, burnt my hands before understanding it. When I'm passionate about something, I cannot let go. And that it's a good thing, but there's also a bad side to it. What I learned over the years is how to like choose and decide what things and how you can change. Not everything happens at your pace. So, learning to let go and realizing the fact that you are not always in control. Things will happen, life moves on, and you do not have to take it so personally about it. So for me, passion was healthcare and about patient care. When I see that patient care is not there, which we really have to work on here in America about healthcare, we have a lot of gaps. When it comes to healthcare, even women's healthcare or children, mental health, name it, I think we are lagging behind, even though we are one of the top countries in the world. And I'm extremely sad when I see that we are still not able to provide the care that our citizens deserve. So like you can tell that I can talk about it like for hours and try to say what all the problems and challenges are and some solutions on how we can fix it. But it's not something a one person or one group can do. It is something that as a society we need to think about it and work on it. So the lesson I learned is that things happen. You can plan your 5 year, 10 year, but that doesn't mean things will go exactly how you are. Like COVID, nobody planned for it, and you just had to go with the flow. So I learned that in business, I think that's a very important lesson for me. Things go up and things go down. So I just need to keep that same level. I can't be going down when it's like depressing, when, oh my God, things are not going the way it is. So I have come to a place, and I can tell you confidently that it doesn't matter if things are up for me or down for me. I'm pretty stable and I'm able to keep my calm. That's good because then it helps you during anxious times instead of panicking and stressing out. Now you can think with a clearer head. And that's something I learned from my corporate life in healthcare, that in when you work with Deloitte, or if you want work with the New York Health and Hospital Corporation, doesn't matter who you're working, who your employer is, there are always situations that change. And how you react to it should be based on a very cool headed thought process. If you don't do that, then it doesn't work anyway for anyone. And so now that I have matured that way, I think I'm applying that in terms of not only being able to now plan my strategic thing, but also with an understanding that yes, there are ways and there are things that might not work. How do you work through your issues? How can you calmly go through the challenges that will come in your life, which is the only thing that is constant. So
Amazing, amazing. When you said strategy, so what strategies do you use to promote sustainable business practices?
So One of the things that I am very particular about is what we like. It doesn't matter just in my business, but all around as a person too, right? What I wear, what I eat, what I put on my skin, like all of these things have an impact on our earth. So, what I would try to do is be conscious about it. So, if there are clients who are willing, I'll talk to them and I'll say, we have choices for sustainable products that you can get. So, I also look for manufacturers who follow that practice and make sure that they are more keen and aware of the labor laws and making sure they're using the sustainable products. I encourage my clients and my even network to use products and services which support it. At the same time, one more thing I do like to do is I'm a minority woman owned small business. I try to support minority women owned small local businesses because if we grow, then the community grows. And if the community grows, then everything everywhere is there. So local is much better. So if fresh fruits and vegetables, the farms that's here, if we support theirs, then that means we are not only helping them grow, we are helping ourselves by buying local, less pesticides, less all of these things that we eat. Same thing applies for clothes that you wear, like cotton clothes that you're wearing. It's helpful for you. When you have a lot of mix, we talk about microplastics in the air, we talk about all of these, but how can we do even a small thing, small change every day will contribute towards it. So I believe in doing making small changes every single day so that it adds and becomes a cumulative big help that you can do. So we have a saying in India, right? A single drop will do nothing, but every single drop adds and it can become an ocean. So that's
Yes.
what I believe in.
बूंद बूंद से बनती है सागर.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so can you describe a pivotal moment that shaped your leadership style?
Now that's a very tricky question because now I have to go through and think about a pivotal moment, right? That's what you're talking about. I don't think there is one particular moment that I can call out as a one time that made a change. The one thing I told you about is the moment I decided that I need to be getting out of the corporate and going into business. That was one thing, right? But me as a leader is a sum of all my experiences, starting with my first role as a research assistant in the Center for Business and Economic Research and Development in Louisiana. So every single time there is in life, I think every single chapter of my life, there has been a learning lesson. And that made me a better person. I feel that I'm still learning because I feel there's a difference between a leader and a manager. So I don't like to be a manager. I like to be a leader. What I mean by that is a leader is a person who shows the way and doesn't stand in front of everyone. They might be the person who is walking in the back and letting everyone like go ahead because they're just guiding them there. So I don't know if it's a leader or a mentor. I see myself probably more as a mentor. I like to give my experiences and learning lessons to others if they're willing to listen. But the point is, even when I used to teach at the university, right? I used to feel that it's not that I am the only one teaching the students. I learned from the students a lot, like how they see what is their view of things. That helped me become a better mother. That helped me become a better person. That also helped me become a better, human being. Because I think I'm more tolerant, and as years have grown, I've tried to see things from different perspectives. So there is no one moment that will make it for me. I think all of this, each piece defines what I am.
Amazing. Awesome. What role does innovation play in your business model?
I love innovative ideas, and I'm going to tell you something about it. So I met this person at the networking event, and he is an AI expert. So, like, I was talking to him, and I was like, I really want to take away all the administrative burden that everyone has, right? It's not just me. Even every small business struggles with trying to do all the things. If they could just avoid that, they could focus on their business, right? But at the same time, he was like, you have a very strong healthcare background, can you help me with that? So I do have a potential work where I am trying to work with him in terms of coming with an idea how we can improve using AI and bring efficiency. Simple thing like doctor's office or a hospital or a small clinic where all the administrative work and everything can be taken by AI. AI handles it on a regular basis. So the nurses and the doctors and everyone can make sure that they are focused on patient care. So it's a small piece, but you're doing. So that's one aspect, but that I bring into my work. I had a manufacturer that I like connected with, and he has a coffee pouch that he showed me, and I was really interested in it because it's a unique thing. So when we go and buy things from Starbucks or any coffee shop for that matter, right? But what if I want to have the coffee that I'm used to having every day? And there are people who are really particular about the coffee they drink. So I found that this manufacturer has a pouch, which is a patented pouch. Each pouch makes 2 cups of coffee or tea, whichever you want. It's a small, simple, light pouch, and you can put your logo on it. And I felt that that's a good thing for my clients because now they can give it as a gift with their logo. And the pouch, once you finish using the coffee, you can throw away the grinds and then you can put fresh coffee in it and still use the pouch everywhere you go. So it's a very like new idea that they had. So I was like, okay, cool. I like to use it. And so what I try to do in my business every day is look for things that are very unique, but can solve some small problems that we all have or help us do things in an efficient way. So innovation to me is thinking about things out of the box, trying to come up with unique solutions that would make it easier. And in that way, I respect Steve Jobs because he had a very unique mindset. What I mean by that is everyone can make computers, but when he was thinking about Apple, he thought, how do you use it and how can you make it so user friendly that it is very intuitive and logical for you to just do it? It's not that you have to learn like it's a rocket science. So that's why I like it, the concept that he had. Think about your client or your customer and see how they're going to use it and provide ideas that will work for them so that it feels as if it's second nature to you. And that's innovation for me.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. That's how most businesses should work, is keeping the client and their needs in mind.
Yeah, for me, customer service comes the most higher priority for than anything else.
Absolutely. So what's your approach to building and maintaining client relationships?
I don't think about them as client. I have been thinking like since the day one, I was like, I don't want to call them clients. It just feels very informal when you say client. I was thinking, what can I call my clients, not clients? So I did not like customer. I do not like clients, and I'm still trying to like go through it and say what I should, because I believe that I don't want a very formal relationship. I want my clients to feel free enough to be coming and telling, "Hey, Rashmi, we did this. We love it." Or we did this with you and we didn't really like, these are the challenges. I want them to feel free. So I want to be a friend, a partner, and be someone who is in the same boat as them. So it's not, for me, it's not about just making money. Yes, all businesses are trying to make money. That's a given. But while making money, if I can make it like I am a partner and who is looking out for your growth too, so it works both ways, then it's a win-win. So for me, I don't like to call them clients. I more think about them as partners. Partners is a little bit more closer word than what I would like to use as clients. Maybe I'll come up with some better term one day. I don't know. But yeah, that's
Innovation. There you go.
yes.
So what advice would you give to healthcare professionals considering entrepreneurship?
I firmly believe that healthcare needs to be opened up. What I mean is the control needs to go back into the hands of the physicians, hands of the patients, hands of all the providers, because the relationship that a provider has with their patient is core to building trust and also understanding what the needs are and fulfilling the proper care. That is what is needed. So for as an entrepreneur, I think each professional in healthcare should have their own practice. I know that it is right now controlled by the insurance and everything, but if we can break free of that and come to a society where we go beyond the walls of the corporate and then incorporate the healthcare practices into every aspect of what we do, I think that would be the ideal entrepreneurial mindset that I would recommend, that every single practitioner. So, if a doctor is graduating out of the medical school, they should have had some business lessons and courses that they have taken so that they know what it is to run a business and they can run a practice without having to worry about a lot of the things that they might not. And it's not just for doctors, it's also for nurse practitioner, PTOT, name it. All healthcare professionals should be able to run their own practice and business, and therefore I would recommend every single healthcare school to actually have mandatory business courses as part of the curriculum.
So, how do you stay current with both healthcare and business trends?
We have for the business, it's very easy. I'll tell you that we have a lot of conventions, conferences, expositions, and even the manufacturers send us a lot of information that we can keep updated with. I do have to, I generally do take courses where I keep updated with what's new in the market. And like I said, I always research. That's my mentality. I have a research mentality. Coming from the background of academics, that's what I am. So that helps me. So even if in my regular life I see something unique and I like, oh wow, can I use it in my business? How can I use it? And what can I do for my client? That's how I think about it. So that's a very easy part for me. Healthcare, what I do, I have a habit where I only read, the only news I read is science and technology. For the last 9, 10 years, I've not read any other news that we get because I feel it's only negative news that's being published. And the more people read it, they are all becoming trained, or it's like brainwashed towards one idea. And I don't like, have you heard any news where they come and they talk only positive? Oh, do you know the sun rose today? I'm just making it up. Like, oh wow, it's so beautiful. They will say, oh, it's a cloudy day. So it's like we are more and more as a society, the news is like very much targeted on negative things rather than positive. There are a lot of positive things happening in the world, but the focus is not on those, it's on negative things. So I stopped reading or listening to those news. On the other hand, if you look at science and technology, they will talk about new planets being discovered. They'll talk about the new medicine, the new research that's happening in healthcare. So you get a lot of things that's happening, like positivity coming out. Like there's hope. There's hope for Alzheimer's. There's hope for even aging. Maybe like by the time I'm starting to age, they'll have a cure where we'll all look like 20s. So I like that. I like where you're able to generate that positive attitude towards life, positive things, saying, "Oh, there is help out there. People are interested in, helping each other." That's why I like to be part of the Breast Cancer Society also, because we are fighting towards getting a cure. So that's aspect of me keeps me updated with what's happening. And then all my colleagues I talk to and I get to know, where are they still in the same boat? Is anything changing for them? If not, what can you do to change it? So even if I am right now out of the corporate world, I still consult, and I still try to give advice, strategic advice in terms of what can be done in a 5-year, 10-year plan to make sure that we're moving slowly in that right direction.
Awesome. That's very, very cool. So, how do you, what's your secret, and how you balanced being a mother and your business and your work, for all the young mothers out there?
Um, Starting a business is not easy, but don't think you cannot do it. Every single person can do it if all they have to do is put your willpower to it. Make a decision. It's small steps. If you look at the big picture, then it'll feel like it's um, so I'll give you a story of what my grandmother used to say, right? She would say, if you look at the elephant and you want to eat the elephant, not that we're going to eat an elephant, but let's say, right, if there is an elephant, you can't eat the elephant at one go. But you can take small pieces, and over a period of time, you eat the whole elephant. What it means is, in simple terms, is you have a big picture. Yes, I want to be the most successful business in, let's say, 10 years. Okay. I want to have my face on Forbes magazine everywhere, Woman of the Year, Business Entrepreneur, whatever, right? But if I look at that and sit here, nothing happens. It's like if I want to go to someone's house, how do I go? I take my car, I sit in the car, I start driving, and I know which route to take, and I reach there. Same thing applies. You can do it. You're a mother. As a mother, you're already trained. You're managing a lot of stuff. You're managing your kid. Keeping your kid alive, which means you managed it. Okay, that's the best. A mother is a best entrepreneur, because when my son was born, and I was like, oh my God, it's so delicate. I felt like if oh, something will happen to him. It's like very scary at that moment. But I
Mm.
managed to like make sure that he's not only surviving, but he's thriving, right? So as
Yes.
a mother, we are already doing a lot of management skills. We are able to manage our life in different time management, talk about strategic planning, what to feed your kid, how to do what, all of this. You have the skill set. A mother has the skill set to be a proper entrepreneur. Everyone has it. You just need to apply those skills into business. So it's
Amazing. It's easy. You make it sound so easy.
it is. I'm telling you, it's just the mindset. Think about it.
Absolutely.
When your baby was born, you never thought, like, okay, how are you going to send them to school? Now, at that time, you're only thinking about, okay, I have to feed them, I have to bathe them, I have to change their diapers. It was small things.
Yes.
Slowly, it came to a step now where your child is walking, you're dropping them to kindergarten, and you're picking them from class.
Yes.
Every day moves on. That's all you need to do with business. It's a baby.
Awesome. Yes, it is a baby. Yes, most people say that your business is your baby. So
Yes.
do not touch the baby with dirty hands. So
Yes. Just small baby steps is all we need. Be happy.
yes, absolutely. How do you handle stress and maintain work-life balance as a CEO?
Yoga and meditation. I'll
Awesome.
tell you, I completely feel like everyone needs to calm down every day. Take 30 minutes, just have your own zone. And when I say meditation, it means, even if it means like you can sit in a place wherever you are and then calm your mind down. When there might be a lot of thoughts, if you close your eyes and sit for 10 minutes, I'm telling you with guarantee that you will have hundreds of thoughts running across. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Just let the thoughts flow through you. And after a period of time, you will know how to like calm yourself, because it happens. Like, I think roughly like 2, 3 months, you're just sitting there and all these thoughts are bombarding into you. But you just have to let all the thoughts come and go. After a short period of time, you start slowly seeing that the thoughts are calming down, not because you will not have thoughts, but because now your mind is able to understand it. And that place is where you'll start to feel the stress going out of you. And so remember one thing: we do not have control over outcomes. We only have control over our actions. And I
Mhm.
firmly believe it. Do your actions,
Absolutely.
forget about outcomes. If you forget about the outcomes, there is no stress. So that's it.
Great piece of advice. So, what impact do you hope to have on the business community?
I am hoping that I can be an inspiration to more women. And I am also able to help them become successful business owners as well. And I was trying to think that it's not just women. I want girls to start thinking about how can they be an entrepreneur. There is no time for it. You are in a school, high school, middle school, you can still think about it. Yes, I would encourage you to finish your studies. That's like you have to do it.
Have to, yes.
Yes, but you can also be independent by thinking. You are an artist, maybe you can sell a portrait or a picture or a painting, and that is the first step towards entrepreneurship. Look at Adriana Gorza. Look at how successful she is. So entrepreneurship is not separate from your life, it's a part of you, how you do things. And that is something that I want every woman to be thinking about. And I really hope that one day I can be an inspiration and people will take lessons from my life and apply it in their life and be successful.
I'm sure they will.
Thank you, Anisha.
So what is one piece of advice you would give immigrant women who want to become entrepreneurs?
America is the land of dreams.
Absolutely.
Will come true. If you ask for help, you will get help. What I have felt is many people are reluctant. So as a immigrant minority women, I would say don't be shy, step up, ask for help. If you ask, there are a lot of information that is available which can make your dreams really come true. And network. That's like my one piece of thing. Doesn't matter if you started a business, you're going to start or you're not, just network. Just getting to know the people in the right places will also open your mind, and things that you never thought in your head will start popping. Like today, I have in my store a demo for a robo, an actual robo. If everything works, then at Fully Promoted Princeton, you can come and visit a life-size robo who will welcome you to Fully Promoted Princeton.
Amazing. That's cool. I would love to watch that.
Yes, certainly. Let's see how it goes. If I can make a demo of it, I'll post it. And then the day when I have the life-size demo, the robo, I would invite all of you to come and interact with it.
So tell us about your business. How did you start Fully Promoted and what you do there?
So if you are new to business, this is something I want to tell. If you're new to business, rather than jump and like try to take everything on, if you are part of a franchise, the advantage is the franchise has a corporate which in the back helps. The only thing you need to be careful is choosing the franchise. Choose a franchise which gives you the freedom and independence to run the business completely independently. Yes, they will take a fee, but as long as they are not the ones saying you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you're good. Because at least for me, I don't want them to be telling and dictating who I can work with, what I cannot work with. I don't want that. They don't have such rules. The franchise that I work with, they're very good to whenever I need help or whenever I have questions, they are there in the background. So if I need it, they are there. If I don't need it, I forget about it. Don't worry about it. So the reason I chose franchise is because there are a lot of things that happens in business which I really didn't have idea about. Simple things like it doesn't occur to you. It is something that everybody would think it is right in your face. POS system, right? I was like, I know that every business has sales, but like to say, oh, the POS system has to be integrated with this, and this didn't occur to me. It's not like I didn't know, it just didn't. But having that and making sure that, okay, these are the things that you need, like as a package, start. And then you run with it, that is important. So unless you really come from a business background, I would say work with somebody who is already running a business or own a franchise that helps you understand the ropes of things. And from that, you'll get to know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And then you hire people for your weakness and you keep going with your strength. So that's what I would tell everyone to do. At least that's my experience.
Amazing. So tell us what you do at Fully Promoted and how can someone work with you or reach out to you?
So at Fully Promoted Princeton, we do promotional gifting. So it's branded apparels and promotional products, but that's not where it is. It's a one-stop marketing solution. So I generally consult with my clients, my partners. What I tell them is how can they make most value for the money they're going to spend on promotional goods and services. Think about unique ways to stand out, because every business wants to make sure that they are differentiated from the other competitors for their audience. But it's not just about differentiating, it's about what kind of memory and how do you want your customers to perceive you. And so what I tell them is that when you come to me, yes, you can go online, buy it, and be done with it for the day, right? But with me, what you get is a service. It's a customer experience journey that I'm going to build for you. I want your customers to remember you and come back to you. So it's about retention and making sure that their journey is so good that they want to be associated with you. And that's what I bring onto the table for my partners. And at Fully Promoted Princeton, we believe that customer service is the key and is the most important thing for all our businesses.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Contact
Yes.
information. I can be reached at my website, which is fullypromotedprinceton.com/Princeton, New Jersey, or I can be reached via email at princeton.nj@fullypromoted.com.
Awesome. For our listeners, all this information will be available in the show notes.
Thank you, Anisha, for inviting me to your show. And
Thank you so much for being here.
yes, let me know if there is anything I can do to help you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate your time.